Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Endzone 2. Now last time we did a really good job of finishing off our final expeditions, doing a lot more research and started planning for the future. Now I think I'm probably going to rejig my main settlement a little bit because some of those natural resources that we have access to are dwindling a little bit and we want to sort that out. But we're going to just dive in and we're going to build a few new buildings here in Rusticulum. The main thing we need to do is build our recently unlocked stuff, which actually focuses on producing some new community buildings with our pharmacist and our pharmacy. So our pharmacy is going to go right here in the center of town. That's going to allow us to get as many people as possible healed up, keeping them nice and healthy. That's going to go in there. We also have already placed down at the end of the last episode our brand new wherever it is. Let's have a quick look. If I just go to here, look at the production chain here. We want swamp farms, recyclers, and then the pharmacist. But I don't know where my current pharmacist is. I think it's somewhere around here anyway. That's not it. That's the pharmacy. So our pharmacist is the one that produces vaccine ampules, and we do have one somewhere, but I don't know where. Is he over here? He must be over here because this is kind of close to my... Definitely placed it somewhere down here. I'm sure I did. This is a poor start, isn't it? We've got a recycler down there. There he is. There's the pharmacist. It's not in range of our herbs, but he is able to get plastic from there. He does have a depot and a road access, which is great. That's exactly what we need. But obviously, as we get new buildings, it might be time to think about changing some things around here as well. Simply because, as well, our tree nursery is really starting to struggle with the upkeep. But yeah, we're going to kick that off there. We now have maxed out the people in our scrapyards, but we are going to build a new one because I'm sensing that things are starting to throttle a little bit here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a scrapyard here, and I'm going to have them just head out to that area nearby to start taking down a load more scrap. We want to kind of clear this area because I'd like to move all of my buildings into that main housing area because there's not a lot of tree coverage there. There's no real natural resources, and we are then going to be out of the way of this fertile land, so we can probably put in a few more farms and stuff, which is really going to help us out. But for now, we are going to have to deal with just building a few new huts. So we'll put in a couple along here, and then one. We can't get another one in there, but we can. Oh, we can't even put one there or there. 2 new huts should do us for now, but we could actually just expand a little bit further and bring them into here. Then we're going to run a road all the way up just to finish this off. Put that all the way up to there and then down. Little squares of 4, and then we can start queuing up those builds. Excellent. Right, they are now underway. So let's have a look at where our Pathfinder is. We're going to bring them home and we're going to stash some resources in there, and then as promised we're going to head off to build our brand new settlement, our third and final settlement for this area, which is going to be mainly focused on farming a lot of stuff. Now Rusticulum has a lot of fertile soil, so a lot of things like field plants, fruit orchards and things like that. If we go over to our actual fertile soil over here, you can see the different seeds that we can actually produce here. So our plantations are able to produce fibers and natural latex. Over in our swamp farms, they're going to have access to different things. And then, it's going to be really good to start expanding on things. Now, we do have potatoes and stuff unlocked, but until we get our new settlement established, we're not actually going to be able to make use of them because we don't have any other land that we can build on. So let's exchange goods here with Rusticulum. We now no longer need any of the stuff that's in here. Putting in those rubber gloves and the iodine is very helpful, but we are now full on food. So we are going to transfer... we'll transfer 500 food, 500 water. We want to take a little bit of wood to get us started and a little bit of scrap, but we will probably do a few pickups along the way just to get that sorted. We don't need anything else. I could maybe take a bit of plastic and some tools. We'll max out the tools and we'll max out the plastic. Then I think we should probably take some activated carbon masks because we have loads of them. And maybe we'll take a little bit of cloth as well so we can get our first few tents up and running. I think that's a good shout, but we do need people, so let's actually ditch the activated carbon masks for now. No, we'll ditch the plastic. It won't take us that long to get some plastic brought in, and I'd quite like to keep some radiation protection on my people. So we then want to take 10 settlers. They've got plenty of water. And then over in Rusticulum, you can see that some of our job assignments have just changed, or we've ran out. So we're going to reduce everything down to 0, and we are going to restart our foraging, or clay digging, and all of that sort of stuff. So we'll just take everybody away from that. We are going to need 8 master builders to be at work though, so we'll put them into the workforce, and then we'll just drop down everybody else, and then we can start again and just redo all of these assignments and professions and stuff, and that'll get us back on a better footing. Obviously, the more houses we have, the more we're going to get reproducing happening and stuff, so that'll be really good. So we want 1 undertaker, we're going to take 1 pharmacist and another pharmacist. I think this pharmacist works in the pharmacy, and this pharmacist works in the actual production line. We're going to put 4 brickmakers in, although let's have a look at our bricks at the moment. I think we might be in a very good position with bricks. We've got 129 bricks, so we can actually reduce the number of brickmakers we have, and then we'll put in 3 weavers, because we are going to need to stick on top of that. We'll put 4 charcoal burners in, 3 tailors, 3 tool makers. Then we'll come over to our recyclers. We'll put 2 in there. I want 4 foresters. Clay diggers, we'll just have a couple. Lumberjacks, we'll have 5. How are we doing? We've got 3 left that we can go with. So let's go with 3 fishermen, 4 foragers. Water carriers kind of needs to be maxed out. That's going to give us enough by the looks of things. Then gardeners can go up to 3. Salvagers can go up to 2. Yeah, that's not great, but we'll make do. That should be enough for now. The water's probably going to dwindle a little bit, so we do need to keep watch on that. And then we'll start having our Pathfinder head on up to the new settlement. Now, where can we put them? Let's have a quick look at our overview. You can see here we've got swampland, we've got fertile soil. There are no natural forests, so wood is going to be an issue here. We've got the swampland, we've got the fertile soil, and it's a pretty spacious area. There's not that much scrap here either, but certainly no trees and very little in the way of water. So that's something that we're going to need to manage quite well. We are going to set this up as kind of just like a little farming community, I think. And I'd quite like to put it, we kind of want it next to a water source. Here looks like a place that we could use. Then we've got that up there. We've got the fertile ground here. What about here? We can't get in there. The only access points seem to be this area here and that area there. So I think we'll go here. This seems like it might be the best place for it, simply because coming up in this area, you go straight into that scrap area there and then a lake there. So it's not great. We are going to quickly do this loot run just to bring in a little bit more wood, and then we'll have them carry on. We can probably fit in another loot run as the vehicle comes past here. So we'll just head on over to this building here and grab some stuff from there. And while all of this is happening, our little buggy is making runs to and from Rusticulum to drop off some of the herbs that have grown. And that should be really good. That building is clear. That building might be clear as well. So we're just going to have to drive on up and build our new settlement. The wood is a bit of a problem. So our first kind of mission is going to be to get a forestry up and running. We're going to build our settlement here. We're going to have the town centre probably right up in the middle here. We've got to be careful of that swampland because we can't actually build anything there. So it might well be that we put our town centre here. Then we can get our scrapyard coming in and building a load of stuff there. So let's just... that's all settled now. We've traded that. This is Breaktown. And yeah, we've got people living here now, so that is started. So again, we'll go to our basics, we'll get our construction menu up. Once my game is auto-saved. There we go, we're done. Construction, and then we want to put in our first sort of stuff. So we put a little jetty in over here. I'm going to put it on the edge there, going into the water. There we go. Right, we'll place that as a blueprint and then we'll queue up the builds very soon. We then want to put down a fishing hut immediately because, again, like it said, there's no trees, so we have no foraging prospects, so that can go in as well. We are able to put down some farms. They go on fertile soil. We can actually do that over in Rusticulum as well. So we're going to go to our research now, and we want to unlock this next tier, and then we want to get our vulcanizer researched. Now we can do that at Rusticulum because the materials are there. We've got natural latex, we've got tools, we've got coal. It's going to take about 5 minutes, and once that's done, we can produce rubber out of natural latex and coal, which will be very useful for us moving forward. So we now have farms, we've got the upgraded food depot we can do. We can also do the water tower or the upgraded material depot, but I don't want to do any of these. I want to head forward into iodine mines. We've got the lumberjack lodge there as well, the upgraded jetty. Not a great deal that we can do with any of those things yet, so we'll kind of keep our eyes peeled for what's to come. What would be ideal is pushing on towards the recycling center, or if there's some sort of advanced scrap collector, that would be very useful as well, but I'm not seeing that right now. There's an upgraded workshop, iodine mine, iron smelter, and iron mine, upgraded charcoal kiln, a glass works, a vehicle workshop, and then we can unlock the various new vehicles, lead, copper, upgraded wells, and they're all vehicles as well. Then there's the recycling center, upgraded farm, rain collectors. Yeah, rain collectors could be useful. They produce water for the settlement when it rains. That would be very useful. And then we've got houses, upgraded town centers, statues, and the wishing tree. So no advanced scrap collectors or anything, so it doesn't look like we can upgrade unless the recycling center does that. The recycling center generates scrap in its surrounding area. Right, okay. So my plan is going to be then we'll unlock this additional research, then we will push towards iodine mines, because I have a feeling we're going to find iodine in the next area, and we're going to need that because we're going to need to start constructing decontamination kits. So that's my plan. Once that's done, we're going to unlock this one, and then we can just continue pushing on towards that recycling center, because I think if we get enough iron or whatever, we'll be able to get that as soon as possible. Generating scrap's going to be really important, especially once we run out of scrap, which will eventually happen in these opening areas. So that's good, we're done. We've got some homeless settlers. We're going to need to house them as soon as possible, and let's just have a quick look and see if we can build a few tents in and around our town centre. So we can put a couple here and a couple here, and then some here. That's good. What do we need building materials wise? We need plastic for that. So what I can do is I can get back in my vehicle here, and we can head back down to Rusticulum. So we'll send them back home. Then we're going to come back up to here where we can actually flag up these buildings. So we're going to build our jetty, our fishery first by the looks of things. What do we need? We need scrap. Right, okay. So let's build a scrap collector. Or a scrap yard. And we're going to build a scrapyard just on the edge here. It's going just in range of a depot. It doesn't have a road link to the town centre, but that's fine. We can get that up and running. Then we're going to build a road that comes along here, up here, and just makes a nice little square around the town centre. And then that is going to have a road that peels off towards our first new gathering and industry area. We'll have a road go down here. There we go. Right, so that's all linked up. We're then going to run a road that runs along the back here, coming out of the town and along to here. There we have it. So that goes all the way along the depot. We've got plenty of space there that we can put a few more houses in, and we are starting to get set up. Our Pathfinder is on its way back to Rusticulum, which is great. And then over here we can start looking at, oh, there's clay there. Right. So we're going to have to be careful of that. We've got our scrapyard up and running now, so we can put in a salvager and a fisherman. Great. So they're going to start fishing. As soon as we get some scrap collected, we'll be able to start getting some water. So we've got water, we've got food. That's the first basics done. We're then going to build our recycler, which can squeeze in there and that gives us a nice little boost to that stuff. But of course we're going to need scrap, so our scrap collectors are producing about 22 scrap per minute, so the scrap issue here will be sorted out very quickly. The other thing we're going to need is a tree nursery, because we're going to have to start planting some trees very quickly, and as long as it has a road link to the town centre, it should be okay. So I'm going to put my tree nursery, I'm going to try and be a bit clever with this and place it here. Maybe we'll place it there. And then what we can do is, once it's built, we'll have it start reforesting this area, because my scrapyard, the first thing it's going to do is demolish this building here. That gives us just over 2,000 scrap to play around with. We're going to get the tree nursery built first, and then once we get a bit more scrap, we'll get the jetty as well. So, they are now back. Pathfinder should be able to bring in some wood. We're going to have them bring in 50 wood, because we're struggling for wood there as well. We better take on, what did I want to bring? Plastic. So we'll bring 100 plastic with us, and I think maybe we should bring some cloth as well. That'll do, and then some activated carbon masks, because why not? Yeah, okay, so that's good. Then we're going to head back here, drop that stuff off, and Breaktown should be in a much better position very soon. Of course, not without issues, because we are going to need to get some wood as soon as possible. We can't just continue to rely on rusticulum to supply wood here, and that's going to be the next thing we need to focus on. But let's have a look for our wood cutting lodge. They are producing wood, 32 a minute, so it shouldn't be that much of a problem. But a lot of our wood is being used for multiple different things. We do have a second woodcutters lodge somewhere, but I can't seem to remember where I've put it. Once you start expanding, it does get a little bit difficult to keep on top of things. Have I got 2 woodcutting lodge in this area? Is that what's going on? Or do I have wood? Is it referring to woodcutting lodges in other settlements? Let's have a look. What's the woodcutting lodge look like? It's a big building with a load of logs next to it. Right, so the woodcutting lodge should be somewhere around this area. Do I have one here? That's just a material depot, then a coal kiln, a tailor's workshop, and a weaving mill. Now the weaving mill is missing some fibres. Why is it missing fibres? We've got plenty of people working at the plantation. They are producing fibres, but they don't seem to be... Is it just taking long? Yeah, it seems to be taking quite some time. And that could be because of my jobs. Let's have a quick look. Where are my... I've got plenty of people now, though. Actually, that's really good. So, let's put them into being gardeners, and that should solve those issues. Excellent. Right. We don't need as many clay diggers now. I'm going to pump in a few more lumberjacks to max that out, and that should see us start getting a lot more wood. The plantation's there, the foraging hut's there, and yeah, I think we're looking okay. We've got a pharmacy there, so vaccine ampules are going to get distributed to our settlers. What about over here? Have I got a wood cutting? There it is. There's the wood cutting lodge. Right, okay. So, what we're going to do over here is we're going to build a brand new tree nursery. Don't think I've got one here, so we'll get that one constructed. Where are the rest of my foresters? Because I do have one down here. I know I've got one here. That's the other tree nursery. There it is. So they pump out 3 trees a minute, which is not great, but it will eventually help us to restore all of that stuff. Right, we've now unlocked the vulcanizer. Now the vulcanizer is a really important tool because it allows us to convert natural latex into rubber, which can then be fed back into our wonderful settlement to create some rubber gloves, which give us some really nice additional radiation protections. Now you can see here we're at 40% radiation protection at the moment, and that comes from the activated carbon masks and the rubber gloves. Once you add in things like decontamination kits and stuff, that's when you start to get a little bit more in. So with our rubber gloves, we are going to need to build this vulcanizer, and the vulcanizer needs to be near the production of coal and natural latex, and the only place I can find for it really that fulfills both of those things is by putting it here, which is going to involve getting rid of a few roads. Now this material depot we could actually move, so I could just slot it in there. So if I just get my logistics and build a new material depot there, I should then be able to put that in place. Ah, it's because there was 8 being satisfied by it. Right, okay. That's fine. we can work something out there. Let's demolish our roads. We're going to demolish here on a diagonal all the way up to here. We'll then demolish that one. And then we'll build our vulcanizer here. Now, we are currently placing this as a blueprint. And what that means is it lets you put these buildings down like that. And then you build them when you're ready to build them. So we're going to build a little road coming through here and then along to here. And then again to here. So it's not as clean as it used to be, but we now have the vulcanizer in. They're going to be able to make rubber gloves. Then that can go to our tailor's workshop, but this tailor's workshop is currently producing activated carbon masks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a new tailor's workshop here. So it's going to be away from our cloth and coal production, which is unfortunate. In fact, can we get it close to the cloth and coal production? We can. Now, I don't know if, now that I've built the vulcanizer, we're going to need to adjust that. But this tailor's workshop will now start producing rubber gloves for us. We are in the middle of a drought. We've got a drought coming, which is going to affect every single settlement. So that's not amazing. But we do have plenty more settlers coming in, so we can fulfill some of our professions and get a few more water carriers back in to give us a positive water increase. Now, food is something else we're going to need to look at. Our foragers are running out of space, but we can also build a farm now as well. So we're going to build that down here. They want to have a small celebration, so we're going to do that. And then we can go to our food, we can build our farm. We've got a little bit of space here. They do need to be near water production, so that's something that we're going to need to look at. And they also need a road link to the town centre. So it might be time to build a well here so that we can make the best use of that. Or we build the farm over here, which might actually be the better idea. So it's not got any water production next to it, but we can adjust that. There's a depot in the vicinity here.
We don't have much water left. What if it's not
who's got no water? Where is this?
Make that kind of
Who is it? Who needs water? No? We're good on water there, we're good on water here, and we are good on water here. So I think that's sorted, whatever it was. I didn't really pay attention to it, to be fair, so not a good move. But we have this getting constructed again, missing resources where our fibre is being grown. Right, let's get this farm built now, because it's been quite a while since we decided we were going to do that. We're a bit far away from water production, so I think we'll build a well here. Let's go to our build menu, get a well, and place it down here. Now, it does need to be near a depot. I'm just going to place it down, and then what we'll do is we'll build a depot next to it. And I think we just need to build a cistern there. That'll help. And once that's built, once we've got some more scrap in, but scrap is at a bit of a premium at the moment because our scrap yard here is so far away from its area that it's scrapping in. Like, we're only producing 3 scrap a minute, but that's because we only have 1 salvager. So let's put a few more salvagers to work. We've still got 7 people left who can do that, so that's great. Where are we? Salvagers. There we go. Let's put as many as we can into salvaging, and we can probably afford to drop down some lumberjacks. There we go. Maximum salvaging, and we will head back on over to Breaktown, because Breaktown should now have a delivery from our lovely little Pathfinder, which is fantastic. It is here now. Excellent. Right, so we're going to drop everything off there. We've got a lot of radiation protection, so that's really good. And then we can now start building that and that. We are going to hire a forester, like so. And then we will start reforesting this whole area. That's then hopefully going to grow us some stuff. We can put in some food and gathering stuff. We've got homeless settlers though, so we are going to need to deal with that very soon. Which means I think it's probably time we headed back out and looked at some abandoned buildings to get some wood. I don't know if we're going to find any here because there's a lot of empty ruins and things like that. So we're going to have to just have a little bit of an explore around. I think we've already done here as well. They normally have a little banner over them if you can still loot them. Pretty clear down here though. That's been done. Oof, we've got a lot that we haven't yet, that we've finished and cleared out. There's an autosave coming up. I'm just going to hide that right. Here we go. There's some space over here. We can go down and have a look in there. Excellent. This one's a bit of a tough one, just with there not being any natural trees. We are going to have to sort that out very quickly. Over here then, let's head back on over to our main settlement where we can now build our farm. And that should give us access to some more food. I'm going to speed things up just so we can get the build done. And we are waiting as well for some scrap to come in, so we can do that. That gets the well done. Then a little bit more scrap will allow us to build the final piece of this puzzle, which is our storage. There we go. Right, that is now being built as well. So our farm. This is exciting. We've got wheat that we can grow here. We can also change it to corn, wheat, corn, potatoes, pumpkins. We haven't unlocked watermelons yet, and sunflowers. Now, sunflowers give us the highest output of food. So we will grow sunflowers in these fields, and we will just set things up here. Now, I wonder if at some point food variation becomes a thing. That would be really interesting. We get that in there, and our farm is now ready to go, so we better put in some new professions. Is it going to be a farmer? Surely it's just a farmer. There we go, farmers. We can put 5 farmers in straight away, and the food at Rusticulum is now going to be really, really well set, which is exactly what we were hoping for. So Rusticulum should now have its issues solved, although it is running a bit low on water. Maybe if we get some well keepers in, that might be a good shout, seeing as I've just built a well. So, well, I'm building a well at the moment, so we can get 1 well keeper in. Got to be very quick about this. Hopefully the well will be built soon. That's done, and now we have... Yeah, okay, so it's not doing too bad. I mean, the drought is probably what's been causing us to have this little deficit. So as long as we can get through that, we can get through anything. Right, over here. We're going to loot here. We're going to take everything from there, and then we're going to go over to the next ruin.
The drought has come.
Oh, this is the drought now. Oh, dear. Right, so we are now in the drought. Buildings and natural sources of water no longer function. Oof. How long have we got on that? 1 minute and 55 seconds. Right, okay. I think we can probably cope at Rusticulum. I think they've got enough about them there to survive that. That's tough. That's very tough. Right, we're going to speed on over here while that timer ticks down. We should have enough supplies to survive that. Got low water reserves for the next 3 minutes, and the drought is nearly done, so that's fine. We will survive. Which is quite lucky, because I don't think I prepared particularly well for that. Right, we're going to carry on moving over here. We should be able to do this one. There we go. That's a good haul there. So then we'll head on over back to Breaktown. And they should now be able to build their houses, so these people will no longer be homeless, and we'll be able to start increasing our population there.
What if it's not enough to survive?
Right, what's going on? What's your problem?
We could ration. No one likes to make that kind of...
I think we've done it. It's fine. Everybody seems to be happy. 50% confidence. The radioactive contamination has dropped. We are out of radiation protection, though. So hopefully we can now build that. Yeah, great. And then we want to put in a new tailor as well. Max out our tailors, and then this tailor here is actually going to be producing rubber gloves. Cool, right. That's good. I think Rusticulum has now reached its next phase. We are running short of cloth production though, so our plantation is making fibre. We need another fibre plantation, I think. So let's have a quick look on over. We need some research as well. We should probably be doing that. What can we research? Nothing at the moment. We need iron tools. So, we're now on the iodine mine. We need 100 wood for that. Or the iron smelter, or the iron mine. So we're going to need quite a lot of wood for a lot of these things. Which is not great, considering where we are. What about the water tower? Can we research that? A larger filling area than the cistern as well, so that could be very useful. I think let's just make our way through the trees so we can upgrade our food deposits and our material deposit depots, and then we can make some adjustments to the settlement, probably off camera, but we'll see how that goes. Right, you are now where you need to be. Great. Right, let's drop all of this off, and now we should be able to build all of our tents. There we go. Right, excellent. So we're planting 3 trees a minute. Our scrappers are starting to take down this. We've got loads of scrap. Now we can actually start producing some stuff here as well. So as soon as these buildings are up and running, our master builders will kind of disperse. We're getting okay food. We're not too good on water, so I think we're going to need some more water carriers, which is fine. Oh, we didn't actually have any at all, so that's good. That gives us a good start there, I guess. Right, so Breaktown is now up and running. We've got our Pathfinder back, and I think we can probably head back down to home with the Pathfinder. Then what do we need here? We need some more people working in the tree nursery. Water is becoming a bit of an advanced issue though, so we are going to need to have a look at what we can do to sort that out. I'm going to put in 2 more foresters. We're then going to add in a couple of vulcanizers to start making our rubber, and we are going to need... Oh, we're maxed out on foresters, so that's fine. Got an empty work area. Oh, now it's not empty. Right, so housing's okay. We've got loads of food. That's doing very well, actually. Now, water. We need to do something about that. This foraging hut is now redundant, really. Oh no, they can make it out there. Do I have... Where's my forester's hut? I had one somewhere. Oh, the tree nursery, it's there. Right, we've now unlocked the water tower. We've got a food depot, we've got a foraging hut, we've got a cistern and a well. We are going to build another jetty over here. Now, I remember when we first started, this is where we built our first one, so it's back to basics. Then we're going to build a... We've got a cistern there, we don't actually need that. We're going to build another forester, another tree nursery along here. We're going to get that queued up. Then we can put in another 2 foresters, and they're going to work in this area here, and all they're going to do is reforest so our foragers can continue getting food in. Now, Rusticulum's at like a really advanced stage now, so it's doing very well as a settlement. It is going to need a little bit more work, but if we can keep it sustaining, then we'll be in a very good position. We also do need to put in another plantation, and this plantation is going to be able to produce a little bit more fiber for us so that we can continue bringing fiber into our weaving mill. I'm going to pop that one down here, and then once it's built, we should be able to make the best use of that last bit of fertile land we possibly can. We're going to need some more farmers, but that's going to have to wait until some people have grown up. We're going to keep the seed as fibers, and then we are going to just blanket cover all of this area here. We're at a limit. That's done. We've now got 6 adults that are ready to go, so we'll make another 3 into gardeners, and now we should be producing plenty for our weaving mill so that they can continue producing cloth. Now, your weaving mill and all of that sort of stuff will use up water, but now that we've got to this point, we're producing a lot of rubber. We're getting rubber gloves, and you can see here our soil radioactivity is at 24%, but our radiation protection is at 40. Now, over in Brightsun, our population has kind of throttled, and they're not really producing much, so we are going to need to work that out. So what we could do, if we head on over here, you can see we've got vaccine ampules. Everybody's really healthy, confidence is high, the contamination level's low, and the radiation protection is really good. Over here, not great. Health isn't good, confidence is pretty good, but a lot of the other stuff needs quite a bit of work. Then over here, is a new settlement, so there's still quite a bit of work to do, but people are relatively happy at this moment in time, and we have now got some new people moving in. So we are good on food. No, we're not. We're kind of even on food. We're going to add in a recycler. We're going to max out our salvagers, and for now this place is just going to stay as it is. They don't really need wood yet, so that's okay. They are probably going to need to get a nice supply of radiation protection at some point soon, but for now I think they're looking really nice. So our next step is actually going to be to explore a little bit further afield and potentially establish a 4th settlement. Once that's been established, we will hopefully have access to some sort of mining. You can see our cloth is really dropping, so that needs to be sorted. How's our weaving mill looking? It is topped out. Maybe we should have a look at do we get an advanced weaving mill? I don't think we do. Plantation, lumberjack, farm. Yeah, we don't get any of that sort of stuff. So, right. I guess we just go for these upgraded depots, but for those we need iron. We need an iron mine here, so wood cutting is going to be our next thing. Maybe we should ease off on our charcoal burners for now because they're not really needed at the moment. So let's have a look. Charcoal burners, where are we? We'll drop them down to 1. Our tailors are maxed out. Our weavers are maxed out. We might actually just need to build a brand new weaving mill. Too far away from water. Still far away from water. It's next to water, but not next to fibre. I think we'll put it here, or somewhere where it's going to be close to the fibres. There's nowhere where it's close to fibres unless we do something like that. But then that cuts off the vulcanizer. So we're going to have to... We'll put it next to the water. We'll get that built. It's not going to be efficient, but it will do the trick, and it will hopefully get us producing a bit more cloth, because that's what we're struggling with now. And we want to make sure that none of these are starting to drop down, because it's really important when things start to turn nasty that we have lots going on. I think probably a lot of it has come from, if we have a look at this new tailor, do they use... Yeah, they use cloth and rubber. So that's why we're running low on cloth. We don't have enough raw material production to do that. So if we have a quick look here, I think there's a point where you can actually see the costs and the deficits for things. But yeah, it's probably going to be a good idea to have a little bit of a rejig here of this little industrial zone where all of these farms and stuff are. Maybe get some... If we go over to here, now I know we've just built this jetty, but access to water, where do they get access to water from? Yeah, I guess they get... Yeah, so the well... No, that's the cistern. No, that is the well, actually. Yeah, so the well does give them the benefit, which is good. So what we can do is we can just build wells, which is going to allow us to have anything that needs access to water in a little bit more of a tidier area. So I think what we'll probably do is, off camera, I'll do a little bit of rejigging of the settlement. I'll demolish bits and pieces here and there, because now that things are looking a bit more stable, I should be able to start redeveloping things. Over here, put in a new scrap collector, didn't I? Or did I? Don't think I did. I certainly meant to. Must be somewhere around here. Pharmacy's there. No, I didn't. The scrap collector I put over here, so they could make some headway into this area. That's what I did. But we've got loads of scrap here. They don't have the storage capacity, so we will build a brand new material depot here. Or, now we've got plenty of wood, we will unlock the upgraded material depot. We need iron for that though. So let's do iron mine. And then we will head off into the wilderness in the Pathfinder and find ourselves a settlement that might have iron. The last time we got this bridge fixed, so we'll head on over there and see what we can do.
All clear.
And I think that will probably do it for us now. I will do a little bit of maneuvering in the settlement while we are doing this, and you will see eventually how we're getting on. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Endzone: A World Apart. We head back off into a new set of wilderness looking for brand new resources. I hope you had a good time, and I will see you for the next one. Bye.